What's up, you guys? My name is Aubrey and this is my channel, and today I want to talk about the EIDL cash advance. Because if you are somebody who wants to get your EIDL cash advance, that elusive $15,000, then this video is for you, because I'm going to be telling you what you need to do to increase your chances of getting approved. So let's get started. Now, when it comes to the EIDL cash advance, there is the possibility of receiving $15,000 through this program. That's $15 in free money that you never have to pay back and can drastically help your business if you're somebody that has been struggling from COVID-19 and from the pandemic. But the problem is, despite the fact that there is $15,000 on the line for eligible businesses, only a small fraction of the actual businesses in the United States have received this $15,000. Now, as you can imagine, this is something that has been incredibly frustrating for a whole lot of business owners out there. But there is something that you guys can do to increase your odds of getting approved. You see, whenever it comes to legislation in Washington, I think that so often we feel as though we don't have our voices heard. That once we elect our officials into office, it is simply up to them to do what we believe is best. And the problem is, more often than not, that isn't what ends up happening, and we end up being left feeling frustrated and feeling disappointed by the people that we've elected into law. Now, whenever it comes to the EIDL grant or the EIDL cash advance, this $15,000, there is one bill that could change everything. And this bill is titled S513, Ensuring Increased Disaster Loans for Small Business Act. This is a bill that was introduced by Senator Jackie Rosen out of Nevada, and it was introduced on March 1st, 2021, so just about 6 weeks ago. As of right now, the latest action that has been taken on this bill is the Senate viewed it on March 1st, 2021. It was read twice and referred to the Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship. As of right now, there is no set scheduled plans to review this bill, but that doesn't mean it won't be reviewed. It just simply means it's not on the schedule as of right now. You can see the entire bill here, but really what this bill does is it increases the EIDL loan limit to $2 million, and it makes it so that people no longer have to be from a low-income community in order to qualify for the EIDL cash advance, which would mean that a ton of you guys who watch this channel would be able to qualify because of the fact that you guys do not live in a low-income community, which has caused y'all to be denied. If that provision was taken out of the SBA's wording for the EIDL cash advance, that means that the floodgates would be opened up to millions of more business owners out there, because there are so many business owners out there that do not live in a low-income community but still have seen a significant gross revenue decline because of the pandemic. So this bill has been a game changer. This bill will be a game changer, and yet so many people are not talking about it. You see, if you look up EIDL grants online, or the SBA, or the EIDL program, or the $10,000 cash advance, there is very little that you find online, and there is virtually nothing online that is discussing this bill, this S513 SBA bill. But there is one thing that you can do. You can contact your Congress members and your lawmakers. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, many of us feel as though once we've elected our lawmakers into office, we feel as though there's nothing else we can do from then. But the fact is, their job security depends on us. And if we are unhappy with what they're doing, and if we are unhappy with the bills that they're prioritizing and what they're passing and what they're discussing, then we need to make it known. Because if we are unhappy, then they will change the way they are voting to accommodate to what we want. Because if we do not like them, then they don't have a job. And so if you are somebody who wants to see this bill a reality, what you need to do is you need to contact your lawmakers, and you need to let them know that you want to see this bill at the very least be discussed, and you want to see it prioritized, and you want to see it become a law. Now, who you need to try to contact is both your senators and your Congress members. I'm going to walk you through the process of how to find your senators and Congress members right now. Now let's first talk about senators and how to go about contacting your senators. Now, the chances of you actually being able to have a conversation with a senator is actually quite low, just because of the fact that the senator to constituents ratio is quite a bit higher compared to Congress members. So don't be surprised if you don't actually end up being connected with your senator, but I still think that it is worth it to send a letter, send an email, and leave a voicemail, or at least leave a note to their office manager. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to go to senate.gov/senators/senators-contact.htm. Now, I will include a link to that down in the description below. You don't have to remember it. Then it's going to see here, you're going to see contacting U.S. senators of the 117th Congress. Then what you're going to do is you are going to click on a state. I will use Texas as my example. Then you're going to choose which senator you want to contact. In the state of Texas, we have John Cornyn and Ted Cruz. Now, unlike Congress members where you are kind of assigned to an individual Congress member based off of your district, it doesn't quite work the same way with senators. So what I would do is I would contact both of them, contact both of your state senators. In my case, I would be contacting both Ted Cruz and John Cornyn. And in order to figure out how to get access to their email or how to send them some sort of online message, you can oftentimes just click on this contact button here. I'll click on John Cornyn's as the example. And then in the case of John Cornyn, it says get in touch, and then it tells you what to do. So it says discuss an issue, get help with a federal agency, request a flag. So I can do discuss an issue. Then from here, it's going to give me a field to fill out. So please select an issue you'd like to discuss. I could click on, let's see, small business. And then in the brief message, you will want to write down what you want to discuss. And then for the first name, last name, email, phone number, street address, zip code, things like that. For the write a brief message and talking about what you want to discuss, all you'll have to say is to whom it may concern. My name is Aubrey Janik. I'm one of your constituents in Dallas, Texas, or of course, wherever you live. And I want to contact you to let you know that I want to see this bill become a law. I believe that S513, Ensuring Increased Disaster Loans for Small Business Act, is a necessity for small businesses across not only Texas, but the entire United States. This is something that every Texas business owner needs after the SBA and after lawmakers failed business owners during COVID-19 and during the pandemic in regards to the EIDL program. You could even include something at the end like, in order to secure my vote for the next election cycle, you will consider this bill to become a law or something like that. Exactly what you say isn't super important, but you will want to drive home the fact that you want to see this bill become a law, that you are a voter, and that if they want their job to be secured in the next election cycle, then they will make this become a reality. And then you can of course also see their phone number as well as their office information. Now, if you go to their website, you can also oftentimes find their local offices as well, because they have an office in their state and then they also have one in Washington, D.C. And the Senate website, you just see their Washington information. But if you go to their actual website, for this example, again, we're using John Cornyn, you should be able to find their state information as well and their state number, because they have a local and a DC office. So it will not hurt to send a letter to both offices, to call both offices, and to send messages to both senators. It is incredibly important to just flood their mailboxes with this request. That way it does not become ignored. Next is your Congress members. So in addition to the senators, you will want to contact your Congress members as well. And in order to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the United States House of Representatives website. I will include a link down to that in the description below. You will then see the field that says find your representative. You will then be prompted to type in your zip code. Again, we'll use myself as an example. So I will type in my Dallas zip code, or it's not actually my zip code, it's just a zip code in Dallas. And I'll type that in. I'll click find your rep. And then from there, I will find my 2 possible representatives. And then from there, you can put in a street address, which will help narrow down which representative is yours. You will want to click on the representative that belongs to you. And then from there, you will be taken to their website. In this example, we'll use Mark VC, who is a part of the 33rd District of Texas, which is a district in Dallas. In order to figure out how to contact them, you will simply click contact, and then you will be given a variety of different options, including write mark, get email updates, office locations, request a meeting, and request assistance. Now, Congress members are traditionally much more accessible than senators. Like I mentioned earlier, senators, the ratio from senator to constituents is very large. There are a large number of constituents compared to the number of senators each state has, whereas with Congress members, that ratio is significantly smaller. And because of that, it isn't out of the question to actually be able to have a conversation with your Congress member. Now, you can either just write them, you could give them a call, you could request a meeting with them, but regardless of that fact, you will be able to find different office information for that Congress member. Again, they're much more accessible than senators. So if we scroll down for this specific Congress member, you can see that their information for their Washington office is here, their information for their Dallas district office is there, and their Fort Worth office is there. And then all of the information is there as well on top of the hours in which they are available. And similarly to senators, you will want to make sure that your Congress member understands that in order to secure your vote, that they need to consider small business in the future of their agenda in Congress. Now, in addition to contacting your specific senators and your specific Congress members, this will go a long way because of the fact that it does drive home the point that small business, EIDL, this bill is something that's important to you. But something that would go even further is to contact the senators and lawmakers that are on the Committee of Entrepreneurship and Small Business. You can see here that the senators that are included on this committee are Ben Cardin, Maria Cantwell, Jeannie Shaheen, Ed Markey, Cory Booker, Chris Coons, Macy Hirono, Tammy Duckworth, Jackie Rosen, John Hickenlooper, Ron Paul, Marco Rubio, James Risch, Tim Scott, Joni Ernst, James Inhofe, Todd Young, John Kennedy, Josh Hawley, and Roger Marshall. These are the people that are in charge of this bill becoming a reality. They are more important to this bill than your own senators and Congress members. Now, I will include a link down in the description below of this Small Business and Entrepreneurship Committee website where you can find these names once again. But it would go a long way to contact these people directly and say, hey, we need this bill to become a reality. Maybe provide them with your own story. Maybe provide them with statistics. Maybe talk about your own experience. Whatever the case is, these lawmakers getting emails from people stating the importance of this bill becoming a reality, I do personally believe that it will go a long way. Now, as of right now, the next meeting that is scheduled for this committee is on May 19th, and it isn't anything that has anything to do with the SBA. But there isn't any meetings that are scheduled for the near future, but I will be keeping an eye out on this committee's calendar and schedule to see if there is a discussion and if there is any sort of hearing scheduled in the future to discuss this bill. Now, of course, this isn't a foolproof way to get this bill passed, but I do believe that if you're somebody who wants this $15,000 and if you're sick of sitting idly by, then this is at least something that you can do in the meantime to try to move this bill in the right direction. But with that being said, you guys, like I mentioned, all of the links, all of the information that you need to go about doing this on your own will be found in the description below, so be sure to check it out. I hope that you found this video informative, and I hope that it helps you contact your Congress members, your senators, and of course, this specific committee so that you can contact them and let them know about the importance of the EIDL cash advance. But if you have any questions, comments, if you have anything to add, make sure to leave a comment down below. And while you guys are at it, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video.